Mallow hurried to his daughter Primula and was relieved she was safe, even though he had a few injuries himself. His bobcat Maeli stayed close by. Mallow thanked Kenichi deeply for rescuing Primula. Then, he asked if Kenichi had stored all the valuables from the bandit hideout in his item box. Kenichi confirmed that he had packed everything: gold, weapons, armor, furniture, and even vegetables. He remembered how scary it had been when he first arrived in this world, and how his online shopping ability had helped him survive. All he wanted was a peaceful, simple life, far away from trouble. Later, the group discussed how to claim the bounty. They needed to show the heads of the bandit leaders as proof. Nyakero and the other catfolk told Kenichi to use his item box to carry the heads because they would start to smell. Though it made him uncomfortable, Kenichi realized this new world was far from peaceful. Along with the heads, he stored all the loot from the bandits: gold coins, armor, weapons, rugs, pottery, furniture, and cooking tools. The box was full, but it kept everything safe. Kenichi also offered to help the rescued women return home. Sadly, some had no families left, so he suggested they come to the town of Dahlia, where they could find jobs and the Mallow Company could support them. One girl, Anemone, said her village was far away, nearly 800 kilometers. Kenichi offered to take her, but Anama quietly explained that Anemone was likely sold by her own family due to poverty. Hearing this, Kenichi invited Anemone to Dahlia instead. Anama later told another woman that while Kenichi seemed kind, he wasn't the type to stay with someone for long. She believed he'd walk away if something new caught his interest. At the town hall, Nyakero proudly showed Shaga's head, and the staff were overwhelmed. When asked how many heads they had, Kenichi calmly said 52, and began summoning them from his item box. The old man at the counter was amazed by Kenichi's magic and warned him not to let nobles find out. Kenichi replied he would just leave if things got dangerous. Norseball, the knight, said he would report to the local lord about the corrupt nobles behind the kidnapping. The bounty inspection lasted until night, and Kenichi and his group earned a total of 861 gold coins. Anama refused her share since she hadn't fought. Instead, she asked if she could look after Anemone since she had lost her own child. Kenichi agreed, trusting her care. The townspeople celebrated the fall of the bandits, and Kenichi divided the money among the remaining 7, giving 123 gold coins to each. With the gates closing, he decided to stay the night and quietly thanked everyone for helping him. That evening, Azalea from the inn teased Kenichi about rumors of him defeating bandits. Kenichi denied everything, knowing she'd want a piece of the reward if she found out. A bard was singing about a mysterious hero, possibly hinting at Kenichi's deeds. Azalea reminded him about a promise they once made about being together when he became successful. Kenichi, feeling awkward, asked for a room instead. Azalea was a little hurt, but gave him his usual room. As she left, she called him mean, and Kenichi admitted to himself that he might really be a bad adult. He knew it was only a matter of time before nobles started to notice him. Later that night, Azalea tried to be close to Kenichi, offering him a relaxing bath. But before anything could happen, Anemone suddenly appeared and ended up sleeping in his room. The next morning, Kenichi looked for Anama, thinking she might be worried, but she wasn't in the market. The catfolk were hungover and didn't know where she was either. Kenichi decided to finish his errands for the day. He sold the weapons and armor from the bandits for 32 gold coins, the treasures from the hideout to the Mallow Company for 35 gold coins, and the furniture and bows at the tool shop for another 22 gold coins. Altogether, he earned 89 gold coins, worth a small fortune. He split it evenly among his group, giving each person 12 gold coins. He also planned to give the extra furniture to Anama and the other women staying in Dahlia. After a long, busy day, Kenichi packed up and got ready to head home. Back at the inn, Anemone was curiously exploring when Anama finally found her. Anama was relieved and asked if Anemone wanted to come with her and learn about business so she wouldn't feel alone. But Anemone sternly said she wanted to stay with Kenichi. Even when Kenichi gently suggested that staying with Anama might be better, Anemone didn't change her mind. Anama respected her choice and told her she'd always be welcome if life got hard. Kenichi wasn't sure if it was the right decision, but he accepted it because it was Anemone's choice. When he asked why she wanted to stay, she simply said it was because he had fed her until she was full. That simple answer made Kenichi smile, and they went to have dinner together. After eating, Anemone cheerfully asked to take a bath and sleep beside him. Kenichi realized his quiet life had taken an unexpected turn. He now had someone like a daughter staying with him. About 2 weeks later, a lot had changed. Sir Norseball was praised for helping defeat Shaga and was given a new title and some land. He even started looking for people to live there and a wife. One day, Anemone pointed out a small rail cart, a draisine, that was now being sold. Kenichi remembered how Mallow and Primula had laughed at his idea at first, but they quickly saw how useful it was and began producing it before the whole bandit problem was even over. In the end, Mallow paid Kenichi 5 gold coins for the idea, saying that showing appreciation for ideas was key to their success. Kenichi got lost in thought, but Anemone's voice brought him back. Later, the bounty rewards were finalized. Kenichi made sure everyone got their fair share. Some wanted cash, and others wanted it linked to their guild accounts. He also paid back the money he had borrowed from Mallow. Then, he gave the last part of the reward to the rescued women. Anama took her share, and Anemone thanked him. Just as Kenichi was preparing to leave, a few strangers in cloaks appeared. They told him someone wanted to meet him and warned him not to use his beast powers. They said their only order was to bring him in alive. Kenichi calmly reassured Anemone and then surprised the attackers by quickly using a distraction. He told Anemone to stay low and warned the attackers not to try anything or they'd regret it. After the incident, Mallow showed up curious about what had happened. Kenichi suspected that it might have been the work of a noble, but Mallow thought it was more likely done by a group that opposed the king. Mallow advised him to meet with Count Asclepius, a trustworthy local lord. But Kenichi was hesitant, worrying that the lord might ask him to pay taxes or make deals he couldn't refuse. Around that time, Primula learned that her father had already met with Kenichi. She wished she had been there to thank him herself. The local lord had praised the family for inventing the draisine, and they were allowed to take draisine as their official family name. Primula was now called Primula ne Draisine. Mallow reminded her that their company owed a lot to Kenichi, and that they needed to return the favor. Primula began thinking more deeply about Kenichi. At first, she had thought he was just a boring middle-aged man with a small shop, but over time she realized he was clever and kind. His inventions had brought their company success and gave their family a name. She had tried to get his attention in many ways, but nothing worked. Still, when he came to rescue her, she knew he truly cared. That was enough for her. She made up her mind to follow him, hoping he would wait for her. But in the back of her mind, she remembered Anama's warning that Kenichi might leave the people he cared about if he found something new. Soon after that, Kenichi was getting ready for a journey. He had a new off-road bike and a child's helmet for Anemone. Along the way, he met Fuyu, who was surprised to see him as a merchant and asked about the draisine. Fuyu also noticed Anemone and the bobcat and asked where they were heading. Kenichi simply said home and store. Anemone realized their old home had vanished, and Kenichi confirmed it had. He thought about how he always seemed to be running away, but then remembered that rescuing Anemone had made it all worth it. One last time, he asked if Anemone wanted to stay with Anama, but she still chose to stay with him. Before leaving, Kenichi noticed the bobcat following them. He gently petted it, told it to live well, and tried to say goodbye, but the bobcat continued to walk with them. Kenichi laughed, saying they were going somewhere else and wondered if bobcats could really leave their home forest. Then he introduced his little traveling group, Anemone, the bobcat, and the draisine, as his new family. With no clear destination, they began their quiet journey. Fuyu waved them off, wishing them a safe trip. And so a middle-aged man, a young girl, and a bobcat set off on a new adventure.